I was wrong. So I made a video about the Galaxy S23 versus the Pixel 7 a few months ago, and let's just say my opinions have changed since then. Now, I still believe these are two of the best Android phones you can get on the market if you're on a budget or you don't like huge phones like the Galaxy S23 or even the Pixel 7 Pro. So with that being said, which is the best phone or the better value for money for you? Let's find out. Let's start this off with one of the things that I liked, and that is the design and the hardware. Now, the Galaxy S23 is definitely one of the cleanest phones that I have used in a while, and when it came out in February, I honestly thought the S22 looked better, but after about a couple of months, I think Samsung made the right choice by switching up the design and making it look similar to the Galaxy S23 Ultra, making the lineup all have the same design language. Now, the body and how it feels in my hand are a major plus for the S23. It is 6.1 inches tall, and they have reinforced the back of the phone with Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and I can say in that time it has held up pretty well. Now, there aren't any scratches that are significant whatsoever, and it has fallen on the floor many times and is still intact. Nice. And while we're still on the back of the phone, it has a smooth matte finish that is in sync with the aluminum rails, and I just want to say, if you indeed get this phone, the lavender color stands out more. Now, one of the few things that were improved with the S23 was the speakers. It is louder and provides enough bass even with the highest volume. Now, full disclosure, the Pixel 7 was my favorite design from 2022. It improved upon the Pixel 6 by giving the camera bar more of a matte finish as opposed to glass. Yes, the lemongrass or the white color hides it, but it's still there, and it's pretty annoying having to clean the back of your phone every now and then. Now, while having a tall display is pretty cool and all, a smaller form factor will always be my go-to every single time. It's just easier to carry in your pocket. Now, when you're holding the phone, its sides have a good grip, so it doesn't always feel like it's about to fall on the floor. Now, with all that being said, design is pretty subjective because I know people that hate one and they love the other. However, bar for bar, the better hardware is the Galaxy S23, and that is not saying the Pixel 7 is bad. It's pretty good. It's just being edged out by a newer smartphone. Switching to the front, on the S23, you get a 1080p display with a smooth 120Hz refresh rate, with a single hole punch camera in the middle with symmetrical bezels. Now, some people might be disappointed that it is 1080p and not 1440p, but trust me, if you're not looking for anything wrong, you won't find it. Plus, they also made the display brighter, taking it from 1300 nits to 1750 nits. I mean, you don't get 1440p, but you're gonna get good brightness, and that helps a lot when walking under direct sunlight. Overall, the display on the S23 is vibrant with its colors, and it does not spill, and I believe Samsung did pretty well. Now, on the Pixel 7, it's good, but it left a lot to be desired, and it could have been better. It is also a 1080p OLED panel with a 90Hz display, and it's just bright enough to see during the day. Summer really is on its way, so the brightness will come in handy. Now, the fingerprint reader is just as consistent as the first day I unboxed it, and I give credit to Google because the Pixel 6 was an utter disaster. Face Unlock has also seen improvements. Now, at the start, it barely worked or it recognized my face, especially in low light environments, but with the monthly updates, they seem to have fixed it, so credit to where credit is due. Now, before we get into software, this is a great segue into today's sponsor, ClearVPN 2. Now, at the beginning of April this year, my Twitter account was hacked, and in just 60 seconds, my email and my password were changed and I was locked out. Trust me, it's not a good feeling. This happened because I had access to public Wi-Fi, but since I got my account back, I have been using ClearVPN 2. This is the most intuitive VPN solution that exists right now. Now, VPNs aren't just for protecting your data. It has other benefits such as unlocking content in different regions. So if you love anime, for example, and you can't access it on Netflix, you can just change your region to Japan and boom, you're set. Get ClearVPN 2 right now by clicking the link in my description to get started. Now, back to the video. Now, so far, Samsung clearly has better hardware, but what about its software? First of all, Samsung gave all the S23 models the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 worldwide. That means outside North America like Europe, Africa, and Asia, they also get to use this chipset and not the Exynos version. Performance has been strong with the S23, it's very snappy with a high refresh rates, and if you play games, you'll be satisfied. One UI 5 also goes hand in hand with the new chip, and you can customize your phone if you're into that. Now for me, I just prefer a colorful wallpaper with 3 to 4 essential icons on the front, and I then color code my apps for easier access. Nothing too fancy. On the Pixel 7, when it comes to software, This is what the Pixel devices are really known for. Google is a software company, and it is no surprise that they have leaned very hard into what they are good at and produced the Tensor G2 chip. Now, don't get me wrong, this is just a Snapdragon 865 and will not beat the likes of the iPhone or even the Galaxy S23 in terms of raw power, but the integration with Android 13 and Material U makes this one of the smoothest phones you can use right now. From using Magic Eraser, Photo on Blur, using the voice dictation on the Recorder app to take notes online and offline, to using Google Translate when you are abroad if you do not understand the language, and that translates into how it performs. RAM management works well, and I can open apps and come back to them hours later, and it opens up pretty quickly. Now, even when taking pictures, it's pretty much straightforward. Now, where it goes down just a little bit is with this cooling system. It does get warm sometimes when you're playing games or you're watching a lot of videos, nothing too crazy. It is hard to give an outright winner because they are both great in their own way. If it's about software, it is definitely the Pixel 7. If it's performance, it is the S23. So with that being said, I'll give this round a tie. A big area for contention is the battery life. Last year, the S22 dropped the ball and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip did not help either. This time around, after a few months with this, I'm happy to announce that the battery life is a lot better. Battery optimization has also improved with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, and adaptive battery has set in and learned all my habits. I can say I can leave my apartment and I won't have to worry about my battery dying till I get home. On the Pixel 7, the battery is pretty good. You get a solid 5 to 6 hours of screen time depending on how you use your phone. Now, if you're just home chilling with Wi-Fi enabled, you most likely will get more battery time with your phone. On the other hand though, if you're on the go and you have 4G or 5G enabled, your battery will drain faster and you'll find yourself having to charge your phone as soon as you get home, or worse, it might just die on you. Now, when it comes to charging, the Pixel is still behind with its charging speeds. Now, even with this 30-watt charger, it takes about an hour and a half to get from 0 to 100. If you only charge this once a day while you're about to go to bed, then you are fine. But if you're out and about with a late night and you need a quick charge, this might not be your best bet. Now, I just realized that I'm nitpicking because the S23 comes with a 25-watt charger, which is lower and it charges just as slow. Now, you know that saying, numbers don't lie, but in this case, it kind of does. Because tell me how the Pixel 7 with its huge battery of 4300 mAh and a 90Hz refresh rate underperforms against the S23 with a 3900 mAh and a 120Hz screen. That's crazy. Now, when it comes to the cameras, the S23 and the Pixel 7 have the same camera specs as last year, which means we're going to be getting the same quality of images, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Since we're also on the topic, picture quality here is always subjective and based on your preference. For example, daylight pictures are great on both phones. It's punchy, it's crispy with good dynamic range. But on the S23, Samsung's saturation is more prominent, so the sky blue is a lot more blue than the Pixel. Now, another example is with its selfie camera. As a black person, I'd prefer the Pixel 7 because it has real tone and gets my skin color better than the S23, which makes me look orange or just brightens up my face. Like I said, it's subjective. Now, what the S22 does better is with its telephoto lens and that 30x zoom. Now, a 30x zoom is the nice to have, and it's not necessarily a reason to get one or the other. Now, with all these things being said, I believe the Pixel is the better camera unit with its pictures, and if you're a person of color, it also does your pictures justice. Okay, one more thing. Let's talk about the value each phone brings. The Pixel 7 is $599 and it is definitely cheaper and offers a great camera with great software and of course a great body and design. Now, the S23 is $200 more expensive, but you're getting an upgrade in every department the Pixel 7 has. But is that enough for you to spend $799? Comment down below and let me know. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you liked it, click that like button and consider subscribing to the channel as this helps me go a very long way. My name is KJOS and I will catch you guys in the next one where we talk all things tech.